Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good list, panelists and audit. Praise be to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, because with His about the permission we can meet together in the Klang Young Forum competition on this clear and cheerful Nirmala morning. Distinguished audit, before I intro our stylish looking panel member today, allow me to first back on the topic of our theme forum today. Topic this today is Dakwah. Dakwah is calling people to obey and believe in Allah and His message. Dakwah is to invite people to practice the value brought by Islam to life and balance human being. Dakwah is an effort to remember human nature and the call to the liberation of human being from fall, God and tyrannical power. Dakwah is the effort to improve and develop a sustainable society. Duty to rise dakwah is a obligation that is entrusted to all Muslims without exception, according to the ability and capability of each as the word for Allah, which meaning you are the best prepared for making so that you enjoy good and forbid evil. The above for explain two things, namely about the goodness of Muslim, khairan mummatin, and the goodness for Muslim lie in its duty to comment and invite people to do good and profit for will. Next, according to Imam Al-Qurtubi, Allah has made Amar Ma'ruf Nahi Munkar as the divided link between belief and hypocrites. It is the most special character of the belief that distinguishes him from the hypocrites. When Muslims neglect the responsibility of dakwah, then Allah will ban His positive as khairan ummati, the best of the ummah, because Allah give the status of ummah to Muslim because of the implementation of the responsibility for dakwah. The responsibility of practicing is placed on every Muslim, whether male or female, purbit, son, whether ulama or not, but the role of ulama is more implies in the teaching of the religion because of their vast knowledge. It can be done individually as the hadith of the Prophet, which meaning then lead those who have witnessed among the rest convey knowledge to do we are not present. Hadith narrated by Bukhari, Kitab Sahih Bukhari. And it can also be done organized, especially when there are aspects of dakwah word then cannot be do individually, as the word of good, which meaning that the amount you people who call the goodness and comment to do good and perfectly, they are the one when good. Al-Imran 104.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are thankful to the Divine Majesty because with His bounty we can gather together to see the inaugural forum that will be presented by our three panels. Inshallah, without wasting time, I introduce the first panel, namely Ms. Hidayatul, who is a diploma student in Islamic Studies at Sultan Azlan Shah University, Kuala Kangsar. Next, I introduce the second panel, which is no less impressive, which is to major in Islamic Studies diploma at the same university, namely Mr. Azhar. Finally, the last panel, and also the children of Taipei. He majored in Syariah Islamiyah at the same university, Sultan Azlan Shah, Kuala Kangsar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hidayatul binti Asnul. My number matric D193124669. I as panel 1. Dakwah is linguistically derived from Arabic. It carries the meaning of exhortations, call and invitations. In terms, the word dakwah means calling or inviting people to do good and follow the instructions, order to do good and forbid evil deeds that are forbidden by Allah and His Messenger, so that people get happiness in this world and in the hereafter. Dakwah activities must always be given a new lease of life, so that the method is in accordance with the current situation and developments. Rasulullah has shown an example of how his success was the result of his dakwah for 23 years in Mecca and Medina. In fact, he also advised us to adopt a simplistic approach to dakwah. There are two ways dakwah is carried out. Dakwah with a gentle attitude and with a hard and firm attitude. But the second attitude is often considered a wrong attitude and thus not wisdom. Even this hard method of dakwah often cause debate for the dakwah itself, so that there are protests from various parties when a issue arises.
Thank you to the first panel for a concise description. May it to be of benefit to all of us. Next, what is the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam preached should be an expression?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Azhar bin Muhammad Noor. Nombor matrik D183-10-937. I answer from question from Bashir. Is the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam preach should be an inspiration. Have to firstly, uniting the community. Uniting the community is among the contents of this charter is none other than uniting Muslims who migrate from Mecca, called Muhajirin, and Muslim of Madinah, called Ansar, declaring the rights of Jews and idolaters in Madinah as citizens of Madinah, and a ban on having any contact with Mecca. Islam in Madinah could not be established through the Charter of Madinah alone, when the Jews who were hostile to Islam create a group of critics from among the Muslims after the victory of the Muslim in the Battle of Badr. Inspiration number 2, the issue of faith is not the priority of today preachers. Okay, the issue of faith is not the priority of today preachers. Is the mistake of this generation of end time preachers is not to put the issue of faith as their main dakwah agenda. The fact is that the perfection of faith comes from the head of great faith, usually through obligatory practice, such as default prayers, circumcision, qiyamulai, reading, and mentabur Al-Quran, and refraining from committing adultery, disobedience, and minor sins. Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala promised the end of our dakwah efforts through the 55 years first of Surah An-Nur, which means Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala promised those who believe and do good deeds from among your all people of Muhammad that He will make them caliphs who hold the ruling power on earth, as He made those before them a mighty caliph, and He will strengthen and expand their religion Islam, which He has placed from them, and we will also substitute for them peace after they have experienced fear from the threat of the enemy. They serve me, and they do not associate anything with me, and whoever they believe after that is there who are the transgressors. Okay, that's all for me. That's all answer for me. I give to panel. Thank you.
Thank you to panel 2 for the answer. Okay, next, how to brush to tenor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Muazzin bin Muhammad Jasni. Number metric D173101115. Right now, I will talk about how to preach to teenagers. Okay, the preach to teenagers is adolescents are those who are experiencing the development and transition of thinking from childhood to adulthood. During this period of development, the preachers need to apply of method of dakwah approach that is suitable for this group to ensure that the dakwah used meets the needs of the target. The selection of an appropriate dakwah psychological approach is essential. Therefore, this study aims to know and understand the approach of dakwah to adolescents, so that the purpose of dakwah in this group is effective. In addition, be able to know the basis of the dakwah approach that has been taught in the Quran. This study applies a qualitative method in the form of analyzing relevant documents. The result of this study found that there are 4 approaches that need to be done by preachers when approaching adolescence. These four approaches are closely related to the psychological element in adolescence. Therefore, this knowledge has an importance that needs to be revealed so that the preachers do not standardize the approach of dakwah between the teenagers and the elderly.
Thank you for the all panels, the answer. Okay. The conclusion for all the answer panel is the dakwah approach is a method that is the class using to carry out dakwah to attract attention and inflict the target to expect the teaching brought by Islam. The history of the missions of the Prophet Subhanahu Wa Taala leave a lot of explain example of the best of us Hindu Ummah, so as not to be in a state of haste in calling people to goodness, but must be in a state of readiness with self-tragedy.